In a world when we have a lot of remakes, remasters, reinterpretations, now we started with reboots. This is a spoiler-free review of Saints Row Reboot. Saints Row Reboot didn't get a lot of love, and I still don't understand when you want to make a reboot. You basically just want to use the same IP because it's famous, but you change everything and you expect people to buy it because of the IP name. But then you get mad because people are disappointed, because they didn't get what they asked for. And we see stuff like this with a lot of IPs, especially with live actions. For example, let's imagine a movie about the Hulk, a very powerful guy that saves the world but has problems with controlling his anger. Imagine if you abused that IP to make another show with the Hulk, well, She-Hulk, that just wants to twerk and doesn't want to save the world, has no issue controlling her power. Basically, she wants to be a normal human. She doesn't care about anybody else, she only cares about herself. Imagine how stupid that will be to make a show about that. Yeah, we already know. That show already exists. So back to Saints Row Reboot. Why? Why do we need a reboot? Can't you make a new IP? I think everybody would agree if Saints Row Reboot will be called Gen Z Influencers. Because even during fighting you see the enemy taking selfies for some reason. I mean, I get it. They want to say that the world is obsessed with influencers, with being famous for doing nothing. But come on. I mean, Saints Row was random and crazy since Saints Row 3, I think. Well, not really. Even in the first Saints Row, you had some crazy stuff.
What's going on, bro? Julius called and said you might be stopping by. Look, you looking for a little something, something? Because if so, I can let Peggy over there give you a ride. Yeah, I didn't think so. Look, brother, I gotta be honest. I'm trying to get a business started here, but right now the only hoe I got is so fugly blind motherfuckers turn her down. Now, if you could bring me back some of them fine bitches who are turning tricks to other pimps, I'd be able to start seeing some real money. But I ain't asking for something for nothing. I mean, you help me out, I'll cut you in on what the bitches make, and I'll spread the word that the Saints are the real deal.
For 30 bucks, I'll give you head so good, porn. Nothing better happened to me. Oh my God. Dear God.
But it's something about the Saints Row reboot. I didn't find it funny or crazy. It felt like they are trying their best to be, but they failed. It was exactly like the meme,
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Saints Row Reboot is exactly like a Ubisoft game. So if you like Ubisoft games, you will love Saints Row Reboot. Even if I enjoy Saints Row Reboot more than Watch Dogs Legion. Also, the difference is not that big. Even in Saints Row, just like in Watch Dogs, you have to take pictures of special places, let's call them. And just like in Watch Dogs Legion, the characters are very forgettable. I will make another video with spoilers and I will talk about their personalities, the story, the missions. But let's just say that in Saints Row Reboot I didn't feel any progression. I didn't feel like I know the characters better, and I didn't feel like I want to know the characters better. I didn't care how the story evolves, because the game never made me interested in what's happening, or what will happen. And the most important thing, almost all of the time you just repeat the same mission. Oh, and let's not forget, whatever you want to do, the mission is on the other part of the map. Or whatever, you have to drive a lot to get there. I mean, sure, you can unlock some fast traveling points, but during the main mission you can never use it. Also, shooting and driving wasn't that fun. A lot of stuff in this game wasn't fun. For example, I have no idea if you can unlock more music, but the music that they had was very limited. You had the Flex channel that was mostly mumble rap, or I have no idea what that was. I cannot even call it music. And they also had some good music, for example, old hip hop music. But it was just a few songs. And for some reason, we didn't have the crazy talk on the radio. You know, that radio channel where people just talk about crazy stuff. Usually Saints Row has it, GTA has it. It was fun to listen to that, especially when you don't like the music. And let's talk about the graphics. The graphics are okay-ish, but you cannot call yourself a AAA game when even an indie game can do better graphics. Stray, for example, looked a lot better. And you may say that Saints Row has an open world, the world is bigger, so what? Their game cost at least double. They have more money, more people, and their graphics is at the level of a small indie company. They don't even have a lot of missions. Most of the missions are the same thing. You shoot people or you carry stuff with your car. That's almost 70% of the game, and the rest is not that different. And for some reason, why is it so hard to find vehicles? Especially parked vehicles. Sometimes it was almost impossible to find them. And I never understood why AAA games always insist on forcing you to explore the map. There's always some stupid stuff on the map and you can never fast travel. Most of the cars are very slow. The reward for exploring and getting all the stuff is very low and useless. And you always have to collect a lot. 99% of the time you just walk from one place to another, and that's all. You barely interact with something and you barely play. And that will be okay if the driving part was fun, but like I said, the driving part is not fun. If you're a AAA company and you make a game where you want people to drive a lot to get your useless collectibles, at least make the main stuff fun. The story is boring, so I don't want to drive to find out what happens to the story. The side missions and collectibles are not that fun, so I don't get excited when I reach the destination. The driving there is not fun, so I also don't enjoy the journey. The game also has a lot of bugs. I must say that I never had an issue with the finishers. I think only one time it didn't work, but then I moved the character a little and tried again and it worked. And the other issue was when it was a car nearby and I want to do a finisher, and instead of doing the finisher they entered the car. So if you want to do the finisher, ultimate or whatever it's called, the special move, it's almost impossible to do it if the enemy is near a car, because you enter the car. Other times the enemies spawn on the bridge and they call reinforcements and there's no way to stop them because they're on the bridge and you are down under the bridge. Also, most of the time they spam calling for reinforcements. Anyway, I didn't find a lot of huge bugs with the game because the whole game feels very rigid, very unfinished. It's like having a game that just works. And nothing more. It doesn't have anything to make the game special. The side missions are boring, the driving is boring, the cars are meh. The main story is also lame. I mean, most of the games that I play has something that impresses me. They have good gameplay, they have a good main story, they have good side missions. For example, I hated Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but the graphics looked great and the world was great. But Saints Row Reboot didn't have anything. Saints Row Reboot does a little of everything, but fails at everything at the same time. It's like you know how to play every sport in the world, but you're always last place at every sport. That's Saints Row. It's exactly like those sitcoms that nobody heard about, but they still exist. And for some reason, a lot of people watch them even if you have a lot of good shows. This is Saints Row. It's a game that for some reason a lot of people will play it, even if there's a lot of other games that are better. Even the older Saints Row have better comedy, a better story, better weapons. So I have no idea how they didn't improve that. The only thing that it's improved is the graphics. But of course the graphics are improved. For example, now every game that will come out in the future will use Unreal Engine 5 or some improved version of an engine that will help with the lighting or the textures. So it's not very impressive that their graphics looks this good when actually a lot of games are a lot better these days. And they also have a smaller budget and team. So this is it. This is Saints Row, and I'm very disappointed. The game designers had no idea what they are doing. The level designers also suck. The main writers don't know how to write a story or to give a character personality. They just added some random stuff to every character. Oh, this guy doesn't wear a shirt. Oh, this guy is a dork. Oh, she is a Latina obsessed with cars. It's like saying, well, I watch anime, I play video games, and that's it. That's supposed to be my personality. Anyway, like I said, I don't want to give spoilers. So I will make another video talking about all of this stuff. About the story, about the characters, about the main mission, and about the ending. But again, what can I say about Saints Row Reboot? If you enjoy Ubisoft games, you will enjoy this game. If you want repetitive stuff and you don't care about the characters, about the main story, you will enjoy this game.